Buckeyes are preparing for battle, and you're preparing to listen to them. Equally important, this is the Fan Warm-Up Show.
Presented by the Ohio State Army ROTC. Decide to lead today.
Happy College Basketball Wednesday, everybody. Buckeyes and the men of Troy. That's right, the USC Trojans taking on Ohio State this evening. 6:30 tip-off over at the Shot. Tail of the tape between these two programs. USC comes in 18-6. Buckeyes are 15-8 on the season. Let's go back to their last games, shall we? Ohio State, as we know, don't need to do this anymore than what we did on Sunday afternoon. Just got throttled against Michigan, right? 82-61. Very good team. You look at what Adai Mara did. He had his way against Ohio State. And you also look at Yaxel Lindenborg and then Johnson as well for Michigan. Those guys were doing whatever they needed to do, right? All right, so that's done. That's the portion of the program where we don't need to bring up anything in the past. Again, bad performance out of them. It's okay. It happens. You look at what USC has done in the last couple of games. Interesting kind of travel schedule for them, as is all the West Coast games. They were at home against Rutgers, beat Rutgers, not a very good Rutgers team, too, by the way, 78-75. A home against Indiana, middling Indiana team, not necessarily what they were 15, 20 years ago, 81-75. And then on the road at Happy Valley this past weekend, same time Ohio State was playing Michigan, 77-75 victory over Penn State. Buzzer beater fashion as well for USC. So they come into this game on a 3-game win streak. Now, interesting to note here for this game coming up tonight, Chad Baker-Mazara not playing for USC this evening. He is out, officially out, and he is averaging almost 19 points a game for USC coming into this game. You look at all the bracket matrices, right? Like, I know that we're starting to do math here. Interesting things happening. I know we've talked to a lot of people. It's a must-win game this evening, and then you got to win on the road or in that neutral site game against Virginia. Yeah, must-win game. It'd be nice to have it because you're directly going up in comparison right now with USC. Reimer, the latest bracketology is what? USC is one of the last 4 teams with a bye.
Yes.
And then you look at the bracket matrices. Ohio State currently is now what? One of the first team out.
Lenardi has them as the very first team out, and USC is his last team that's getting a bye. So they're right there, just a little bit above Ohio State, potentially on that line as like the next, as the last 4 in. As well, if Ohio State wins tonight, maybe we see them flip on his projected bracketology. So we'll have to see when that comes out.
Absolutely, we will. So we'll see what happens with that. Here was Jake Diebler from a little bit earlier in the week talking about how he likes his team's resiliency and bouncing back from the loss on the weekend.
I like the honest conversations that have come from the game, where guys are looking in the mirror and we're kind of talking as a team of what our flaws were, and we're kind of attacking them, right, to get better. Like that part I do like. I like the way, since the game we've been managing, moving forward, and that's important.
And this was the same conversation I feel like we were having a couple of weeks ago, 1 week ago. I can't remember. All these games just kind of run together now, where Bruce Thornton was kind of lighting into, some of his teammates on the bench. Uncomfortable conversations. These are things that happen. So hopefully we're in for a better performance tonight against USC. He was also previewing the 2 games coming up. Now, before you even get to the Virginia game down in Nashville coming up on Saturday, you, of course, have to go through this USC game. But here was Coach previewing the games against USC and Virginia.
Yeah, 2 really good teams that are huge opportunities for us. Excited to be at home on Wednesday. That's a team that's very similar where we are in standings and things. So it's a big time game, and the Virginia game, we're excited to go out of conference, play a really quality opponent in a great venue, and that was by design. We wanted to again have a really good hard non-conference schedule. You anticipate. You don't always get it right on how it shakes out as the year progresses, but we wanted to play a true road game, we play a true home game, and we wanted some good, neutral games, and this is certainly one of them.
Yeah, and before you even get to Saturday, you got to go through USC tonight. Again, 3-game winning streak that they're bringing into town. We'll see what happens. I did like Tayson Chapman's performance on Sunday. I know that we've talked about him kind of the last couple of games. 14 points, I think 11 points, 14 points, and then what did he score against Michigan? 8, I believe it was, on Sunday afternoon. He's given you a boost off the bench, right? Like, you see him coming together now, too, defensively, better than what he's been each game out. So I think with him, Jacob, bench production, not asking for a whole lot from that perspective, but Taysom Chapman off the bench, a thing that we've talked about for a majority of this season since they elevated Amari Bynum to a starter. We've been looking for some bench production. Taysom Chapman has given you that over the last couple of games.
Yeah, he absolutely has, and it's important to have a spark like that, to be able to come in and knock down a couple threes consistently. I feel like he has not lacked any confidence shooting the basketball. I feel like that's been very evident with him, and that's great to see, having a guy come off the bench and be that confident to shoot the basketball. If he can give you some threes and also play solid defense, that's going to help you in some key games here down the stretch.
Absolutely it is, too. What are you most looking forward to tonight, Ohio State? Because I think for me, honestly, it's just the ability to bounce back. Like, you've got to flush out of your system what you saw on Sunday. Again, I think both things can be true. I think Michigan can be a very, very good team, and they are a very good team.
Yeah.
I also don't think that you can necessarily allow that to happen on your home court. I think both things can be absolutely true, but tonight, the mental resolve is the one thing I'm most fascinated to see as Ohio State tips off here in under an hour against USC.
They're somewhat similar to Michigan in a way where they go through the inside. And the last 10 games, they're not even shooting 30% from three. They're 363rd of 365 teams in three-point percentage the last 10 games. So I'm anxious to see how they respond on the inside defensively, cleaning up on defensive rebounds, limiting them to one possession, and making them take jump shots. I feel like that's going to be key in this game.
I was reading this from John Rhodes, said Ohio State, kind of a statistical anomaly. Buckeyes 41st in the net, the highest ranked team with 15 or fewer wins, and the second highest ranked team with 0 quad 1 wins. It's been a weird season for Ohio State. They've won the games they're supposed to win, and then when they've been underdogs, they've lost those games. So I don't know, very, very interesting stuff. Huge game tonight. Let's go over to the shot and check in with our great friend Ron Stokes.
It's time to go inside the Buckeyes with OSU basketball analyst and former captain Ron Stokes.
Ron, thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. Interesting week for this Ohio State team. Had the performance against Michigan Sunday. You've been in these locker rooms, Ron. You've been in these practices before. The bounce back ability and kind of having that short memory is so big when you get down to this winning time, crunch time of this season. I'm fascinated to see Ohio State's kind of resolve this evening against USC.
Just listening to the playback that you guys just shared with us, or the audience, about Jay Diebler, and he had some honest conversations with the team. And translation is accountability.
Yep.
You know, regardless if you're the coach or player, everybody can do better. And the first thing you got to do is look in the mirror and see what can you do better to help the team be more successful out on the floor. And hopefully that will be translated here tonight. USC's a solid team.
Yep.
And now that Elijah Arenas is back, that makes them better. I know they're not going to have Chad Baker, Mazzara in the lineup, but still, they're a dangerous team.
They are a dangerous team, and they're riding a 3-game win streak into this game as well. Buzzer beater fashion, then they have had 2 close wins against Rutgers and Indiana before that. So this is a team that's battle-tested. Ron, what are you most interested to find out about Ohio State tonight and kind of how they're able to attack this Men of Troy unit that does not necessarily shoot the 3-ball well and likes to attack from the inside?
Yeah, the big thing is that Ohio State doesn't foul. They've had some issues this year fouling teams. Michigan got to the line. They made more than Ohio State attempted. And when you look at USC, they are number 3 in the country as a team in field goals, free throws attempted per game. So they like to attack the basket. Ohio State's going to have to play defense with their feet first, be the second guy off the floor, defending in the middle. That's going to be a key here tonight. But the other thing is Ohio State's got to play as a group, both ends of the floor, to get this win.
Ron, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us. Have a great call with Big Daddy. Enjoy your evening with Skip, and we will check in with you Valentine's Day night down in Nashville for a very weird time of the year non-conference game against Virginia, all right?
All right, go Bucks.
There he goes. Ron Stokes with us. Big one tonight against USC. Again, tail of the tape. Looking at those guys, 18-6. They're 7-6 in the Big Ten. Buckeyes, 15-8, 7-6 in the Big Ten. Not really a de facto play-in game, but these two teams are head-to-head right now in the NCAA tournament brackets for now. Should be a fun one this evening. We'll be back for post-game. Everybody enjoy your night. Paul, Ron, and Skip, they'll take you through the evening. Buckeyes, Trojans up next right here on The Fan.
You've been listening to the Fan Warmup Show.
Presented by the Ohio State Army, ROTC. Decide to lead today.
Stay tuned for Buckeye basketball on your flagship home for Ohio State athletics.